Chapter 56 of The Plum and the Golden Vase. Chongzhen version of the embroidered portrait. Simon King donates money to help his friends and always insists on being proud of his wife and children. The poem says, "Kings, powerful men, are amazing in the world, and they can move mountains if they share the same spirit. It is better to give up a lot of money to help people, and it is better to say goodbye to 100 nights of drinking. Carved dishes and fine food are served to all the guests. Wu songs and jiao dances are blown by the fragrant wind. There are also 3,000 people in the hall. Do you know who will be rewarded one day?" It is said that Simon King left his singing boys behind, and then sent the Mao family members to write back gifts, and also rewarded them with some money. Mao Shi received the book, kowtowed and went out. Not long afterward, Chunyan died, leaving only Chun Hong, who was, "I spent all my money to teach singing and dancing," leaving the young man to entertain others. But he said that Chang Jiji had begged Simon King since that day, but he still couldn't get it, and the landlord kept pressing him day and night. It happened that Simon King was returning home from Tokyo. He had to meet the wind today and the wind tomorrow. After more than 10 days in a row, we had no choice but to meet him. As the saying goes, love is hard to come by when you meet. If you don't see anyone, who will you tell? I asked the Earl every day, but I only went to the door of the high official to ask him, and he said he was not there, so he returned empty-handed. When I got home, my wife complained again. "You are also a man, but you have no room to live in, so you are so upset." The official Simon you usually only recognize. Today I asked for some alms, and I also fell into trouble. He said it often. Gigi was speechless, staring blankly and not daring to say anything. Tomorrow, I got up early and looked for Earl Ying. When I came to a hotel, I invited the Earl to have 3 drinks. The Earl said, "This is not a lifelong experience." Chang Jiji sat down, measured out the wine, and placed a plate of bacon and a plate of fresh fish. After drinking for 2 rounds, Chang Jiji said, "What I told Brother Q and senior official Simon Tong can't meet each other these days, and the house is very busy. Last night, I was chatted with by the housekeeper all night. I can't bear it. He pulled away at 5 o'clock and asked me to wait for him while the official was not out. I don't know what you want." Earl Ying said, "I will take care of you today. At least you can ask the senior officials to help you." After the two had a few more drinks, Earl Ying declined the morning drink. Chang Jiji persuaded him to have another drink to pay for the drink. So they went out together and went straight to Simon King's house. At that time, it was the time of new autumn, and the golden breeze was refreshing. Simon King was drunk for several days and felt that his energy had dropped a bit. "I was having a drink with a friend in the week, so I ignored the incident and went to Zhang Chunwu in the garden to play with Wu Yunyang, Meng Yulu, Pan Jinlian, and Li Pinger, looking for flowers and willows. They were very happy." Chang Jiji and Count Ying came to the hall and found out that the high officials were in the room, and they were filled with joy. I sat and waited for a long time, but no one came out. I saw the book boys and painters outside the door carrying a box, all of which were made of silk clothes. They walked in out of breath and yelled, "I have been waiting for half a day, and I only got half." They rested in the hall. Earl Ying then asked, "Where is your father?" The boy said, "Dad is playing in the garden." Earl Ying said, "Please tell me." The two carried him in anyway. After a while, the book boy came out and said, "Father, please ask your second father and second uncle Chang to stay for a while, so I'll come." The two waited for another time before Simon King came out. The two of them bowed and asked to sit down. The Earl asked, "Brother has been busy drinking and drinking for the past few days. So why are you at home today?" Simon King said, "Since we said goodbye that day, I have been invited to drink with others all day long. I am very drunk. I don't know how to do it. Someone is inviting me to drink again today, so I'm just going to have something to do." The Count asked, "Where did you bring that box of clothes just now?" "The last box belongs to your elder sister-in-law. It's only half done." Chang Jiji stuck out his tongue and said, "Sister-in-law from the 6th house. It's so troublesome for a small family. It's rare. I'm a rich man." Both Simon King and Count Ying laughed. The Count said, "Why haven't we seen the Hangzhou cargo ship in the past 2 days? I wonder how the goods are bought and sold." In the past few days, Did Li San and Huang Si have some money opened in the house and sent to my brother? Simon King said he said, I don't know where the cargo ship is, and I didn't even send the book in an envelope. It's hard to put it down. Li San and Huang Si also said that it will not be closed until the moon comes out. Earl Ying sat down next to him and said in a leisurely manner what the second brother Chang asked for at the table that day. He didn't have time to say, so he never said it. The second brother Chang was panicked by the landlord and was complained by his sister-in-law every day. The second brother just felt numb. I didn't pay any attention to it. It's autumn again, and my fur coat is in the pawn shop. As the saying goes, it's necessary to save people in emergencies, and it saves my sister-in-law from nagging in the house day and night. It is also honorable for me to live in my house. Therefore, Brother Chang came to ask me to help him as soon as possible. Simon King said, I promised him to come because it would cost more money to go to Tokyo. I wanted to wait for Mr. Han to get home and talk to him. What's the big deal now? The Count said, it's not Brother Chang who matters. He can't be his sister-in-law, so I have to ask him to come earlier. Simon King hesitated. After a while, he said, it's not difficult at this level. Let me ask you, how many houses are needed to live in? The Count said, the two of them also need a front room, a guest room, a bedroom, and a bedroom. A kitchen stove is indispensable for 4 houses. In terms of silver, it costs more than 3 or 4. I just need to collect some money sooner or later and teach him how to do it. Simon King said, let's get some money first. Take 2 pieces of silver with him to buy some clothes, do some housework, and come here to find a house. I will exchange the silver to make a deal with you. Okay. The two of them thanked each other. It's rare for me to be so kind. Simon King called the book boy, go and tell your aunt, and took out a bag of broken silver from the leather box. The book boy agreed. After a while, he took out a bag of silver and handed it to Simon King. Simon King said to Chang Jiji, this bag of broken silver is the remaining 12 taels of the reward from the Teishi mansion in Tokyo that day. You can take it for miscellaneous use. Opening it up and looking at Chang Jiji, they were all 3 to 5. A piece of silver with a piece of money. Chang Jiji took it and put it in his sleeve, then bowed and thanked him. Simon King said, I didn't mean to delay you these days, and you haven't looked for it. I just wait for you to find it, and when I have the money, I can exchange it together. Chang Jiji thanked him profusely. The 3 of them still sat down, and the Earl said, how many people in ancient times were fond of philanthropy? Later, their descendants had high gates and gates, and their ancestors' inheritance was greatly increased. Those who were stingy accumulated a lot of gold and treasures. Later, if their descendants were not good, even their ancestors' tombs were lost. The earth is not protected either. How can it be so good? Simon King said, that thing is very restless and does not like to be buried in one place. It is also designed to be used by humans. It is a sin to hoard treasure. Just as he was talking, he saw the book boy bringing out some food. After the 3 of them finished eating, Chang Jiji stood up to express his thanks and walked home happily with money in his sleeves. As soon as I entered the door, I saw my wife making a lot of noise and coming out, cursing. The leaves of the sycamore tree are falling. You are a bachelor. You went out for a day and left your wife hungry at home. Shang Wuzi came home very happy. You are not shy. I don't have a house to live in, and I only have to bear with my wife's ears. Changer just didn't speak and let his wife finish scolding him. He gently took out the money from his sleeve and put it on the table. He opened it and looked at it and said, Brother Kong Fang, I see you shining and ringing like a priceless treasure. I feel numb all over my body. I wish I had no saliva to swallow you. When you came earlier, you were not angry with this whore. Then the woman clearly saw a pile of 12 or 3 taels of silver in the bag. She was so happy that she rushed towards it and wanted to snatch it from her husband's hand. Changer said, You will scold a man in your life, but come and get close to him when you see money. I will buy some clothes with the money tomorrow, go live elsewhere, and never fool around with you again.
Alright, this part of the story ends here.
Want to know what happened next? Let's listen to the breakdown next time.